And you know, when you make movies, like anything else, you never know if it's going to be a success. I don't care whether it's a Broadway show or whether it's your job or whatever it might be. You never know what's going to really happen to it in the end. But I just feel so blessed and so pleased that I was in it because it is still around. People are still enjoying it. And it's, I think it'll be around for quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so will I.
Yes, and are any of your other movies that are particular favorites of yours?
Well, I liked, there was, I must say, Royal Wedding, which you mentioned before. There was one that I did enjoy very much called 2 Weeks with Love. And but
we do occasionally, but not as much as we should.
I think that was because it was a period piece, and it was fun, and it was, I don't know, I did enjoy that very much. Then, you know, most every movie I ever did, I didn't do too much except change my clothes.
Yeah.
I always played the girl next door, or many times played the girl next door, and all she did was just change her clothes and her hairstyle. That was about it.
What is your overall memory of that era at MGM? Was that a pleasant memory for you when you think back on that?
Oh, yes, because I was a bit, let me just pull down my dress for a minute.
Maybe not.
I'm having a terrible time. I've always been a big movie fan, never thinking that I would ever be a part of movies at all, even though I had worked since I was 2 years old, singing and dancing on the radio. You couldn't see me, but you could hear me. But I was such a fan that I'll never forget one time meeting Clark Gable, and I was sitting in the commissary, and somebody came up behind me and tapped me on the shoulder, and he said, "Hi, Janie girl." I turned around, and it was Clark Gable, but I couldn't remember his name. I was so shy, I never said hello to anybody unless they said hello to me first, and I'm sure they thought that I was pretty stuck up, but it was just that I just really didn't feel like I belonged there.
Tell about your first meeting with Fred Astaire.
Oh, well, of course I was a big fan of his also, and he was such an icon. I was not supposed to do the movie in the beginning.
Royal Wedding
we're talking about. And June Allison was supposed to do it, and she was taken pregnant. And then Judy Garland was supposed to do it, and she was taken ill, and then I got it. And I had never met him. Of course, I'd seen him walking on the lot and seen him all, but I had never met him. And I didn't know what to say to him. And so Royal Wedding is a great deal like his life with him and his sister. And they were both a dancing team. And so I said, "When was the last time you and your sister danced together, Mr. Astaire?" He thought for a minute. He said, "Let me think about it." I said, "I guess it was about 1929. I said, "Oh, that's the year I was born." I'll save you the counting. I'm almost 82. So.
Tonight, at this particular time, without mentioning and bringing up Elizabeth Taylor. And you did she was in A Date with Judy.
Yes.
And you have another connection, but talk a little about your memories of Elizabeth Taylor.
Well, Elizabeth and I went to school together. We went to school at the Little Red Schoolhouse. And there were 2 rooms, but basically one was the bathroom, I think. And we all sat from kindergarten up to senior in high school. We were all in the same room, like being in a Little Red Schoolhouse way out on the prairie someplace. And so I was in my class in the same room with Elizabeth. Elizabeth was 3 years younger than I am. And she was in her class, and Margaret O'Brien was there. We were all in the same group. And I was telling someone today, they said, "Well, what did you do together?" And I said, "Well, really, we didn't do anything because we were either busy going to school or else we were busy working. We really didn't have very much of a social life." But Elizabeth was getting married, so she asked me to be bridesmaid at her wedding. And I was getting married, and I asked her to be bridesmaid at my wedding, and I'm glad we stopped that because it could have become a full-time career. I don't run like that anymore.
So did you stay close through the years?
No, we would connect ever so often. And not too long ago, in fact, you were there, Robert and I were getting an award of some kind. I don't know what it was, but they had arranged for certain people to send letters to us. And Robert got a letter from Lauren Bacall, and Elizabeth wrote a letter for me, and wrote a letter to me, which was so sweet of her. It was very complimentary, and it was very lovely. And I was really so happy and so touched to receive it. And then a couple of months ago, just before she went into the hospital, as a matter of fact, she called me, and she was complimenting me on a show, on a movie that I had done on Law and Order SUV. And she said, I didn't know that you could act. But it's true.
You wouldn't say this about yourself, but the letter that she wrote was so sweet and complimentary about what a wonderful actress you'd become, and how proud she was of you and what you'd done with your career and your life and the way you'd lived your life. I mean, she'd really been observing you without you knowing it.
Yes.
Paying attention to your life. And
well, she had a very busy life. She didn't have much time to watch me.
But that was a remarkable thing that
yes,
she was so in tune with what you were doing.
It was lovely.
What had been going on.
It was lovely.
Yes.
No, she was a very kind, a very funny lady. She was, and she had a mouth like a sailor. She was just wonderful.
Yeah.
She was what every woman wanted to be, and she did everything that every woman would like to do and not get caught.
We're going to take some questions from some of you. So I think we've designated, have we, Michael? Is that the way?
Yes. Why don't we get to the first one here? Who's got a question for Ms. Powell?
Okay, we've got a microphone there for you.
Good.
I was so happy to hear you mention 2 Weeks with Love, because I just saw it the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
And I so enjoyed it, but wow, Debbie Reynolds came on like gangbusters in that movie. Dabba, 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 dabba. It was fabulous.
Oh.
What was she like? She was a kid, was she not?
Uh-huh. Yes, she was. We all were at one time. And she was, I think she was just put under contract at Metro, but she had been at Warner Brothers. She'd done quite a few movies, as a matter of fact. And she and Carlton Carpenter did Abba Dabba Honeymoon, which is a marvelous song.
It was a charming movie.
It is
Really
charming.
nice. Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo.
How was he as the leading man?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, are-
Yes, I would recommend him.
I'm learning something here I didn't know. No, this is
Oh,
interesting.
you know me so well.
We're in on something here.
Okay, next up. Right here. Yeah, right here. Right there. And...
Well, we need
right behind you,
people back there to hear you.
You did a movie, was it Meet Me in Rio?
And Nancy Goes to Rio?
That was it. I love that movie.
Oh, good.
Great in that movie.
Well, we never left MGM. We never got to Rio. I hate to disappoint you, but it looked good anyway.
It was great.
Thank you.
So, any other questions? Yes.
Yes. Hello. Wallace Beery, for some reason, always fascinates me, and I understand he was sort of irascible. Since he played your father in A Date with Judy,
Oh,
do you
yes,
have any
he did.
pleasant memories of him? Or,
Oh, I have a lot of memories of him.
No, he said pleasant memories.
No, I have funny memories of him.
Tell us.
Not very pleasant, but funny. He was a kleptomaniac. And what he would do when he was on a movie, he would take the costumes home. Because he knew that they would be doing retakes, and then he would rent them back to the studio. And then one time he took a canoe. And he